So, gonna do a real quick overview here. It's starting to rain on me, so gonna be real quick. Um, Shot this rifle Saturday in a two-gun match. It performed well. Not that I had any expectations that it wouldn't. I've had this rifle for a very long time, approaching 10 years now, in just about this same configuration the whole time. Uh, so front to back, have a mechanics wear suppressor cover. At the time I purchased it, it was less than $20. At this current time, I want to say it's somewhere under 40. I know it's above 20 now. It works fine. It's not the best, but it gets the job done. I'm not jumping out of airplanes with this gun. I'm not shooting strings of full auto fire with this gun. I've had a little issues with some of the stitching that they use to mount the logo melting to the can. Not that worried about it, but it's good and on the can now, not coming off. The suppressor, we have a Dead Air Sandman K on the front. In terms of suppression, it's not that great. It's not bad, but it's not the best, and especially for what some suppressors like the Polonium are running now. I want to say I bought this about 2 years ago. This is the latest addition to this rifle. But the Otter Creek Polonium, some of the other same price ranges the Polonium cans are far outperforming this one in terms of price and suppression. It attaches with the Dead Air Chemo mount, which is a large, heavy, and outdated mount at this time. But again, it gets the job done. I already had all the mounts before I actually had the silencer, so sue me. The light is it's a Surefire, I want to say 600. I've got it taped over. It's an older light. It's not one of the newer ones. It's a dual fuel. I want to say it's the first series of dual fuel that they came out with. It's pretty old. I want to say I got it around 2018. The light cover is just a Butler Creek bikini cap that I cut and taped on there. Front and rear iron sights are the Magpul third generation polymer flip-ups. I like them. I like them a lot better than the second gen. They're a little more slim. They're a little more laid down. Have a chop down shark fin style BCM angle foregrip, I'm sorry. And then our fore end is Palmetto State. The upper itself is a Palmetto State upper that was purchased 2016, 2017. I've replaced the barrel. It's got a ballistic advantage barrel in it now. Superlative arms, adjustable gas block that it's hard to see through there, but I enjoy it. It lets this rifle get tuned in real easily. Because of the gas characteristics on the barrel in this rifle, when it's unsuppressed, it will not cycle in the setting that I have it suppressed in. So having that adjustable gas block makes it nice. If I didn't have that adjustable gas block in there, I have and would have to run an AR-10 buffer spring in there and an H3 at the very minimum. But the barrel's good, ballistic advantage barrel. I was able to get T-box hits at 100 yards in a match, so we're talking, squares like that at 100 yards under pressure. It performs well. The barrel can outshoot the shooter. Just a basic Aero Precision 30 mil scope mount, standard height, and a Steiner P4XI. This has been on this rifle for quite a while. I got the scope sometime 2018, 2019. and I really like the Steiners. I had two at one point. I traded one off and do regret it to this day. Much like a lot of the other parts on this rifle, it's old, it's a little bit outdated. It's only a 4 power, but it's very clear glass, very durable scope. This scope is, you know, in terms of just what Bubba's gonna do with it, taking it hunting, dropping it in and out of the back of a truck, that kind of stuff, on the front of a 4-wheeler rack, it's held up wonderfully. It's held zero the whole time. And you'll have a little zero shift here and there. You want to re-zero about once a year just to confirm your zero, but it's never off more than a couple inches after getting beat around like that, and I've never had any problems with it. Vortex Defender flip caps, I really enjoy these. They're a great bang for your buck. They're not terribly expensive. They seal on well, and the front cap, rear cap seals well. The rubber collars seal well to the actual body, and you end up getting a relatively good dust, grime, not waterproof, but water resistant cap that just keeps junk from getting on your lenses. So magazine is empty. Bolt carrier, this is a Microbest bolt carrier group. It's got upgraded Springco springs in it, and I've been told as of late, apparently Microbest's quality has gone down a little bit, so I'm not going to recommend that to anybody just because, you know, I've heard the quality's going down. I don't want to tell you go get this because it works for me, because again, this is old, and since the time of purchase, I've heard that the quality has gone down. It's just anecdotal. Radian bolt release. I really like the lower tab on it. Makes it a little bit easier to lock the bolt back when shooting matches. You have to show clear a lot of times, so having that little tab at the bottom makes it real easy, real nice to be able to lock back, show clear, start a round open, or start a stage open, I should say. And then the big paddle up top, it's comparable to the Geisley. I have a Geisley on my 16-inch rifle. They're, you know, 6 in one, half dozen in the other. One of them is not necessarily better than the other, but I do think the Radian is a few dollars cheaper. And I have Radian on this one, I have a Geisley on the other rifle, and there's no real performance difference in the two of them. Moving back, have a Radian 45-degree throw safety. I do recommend and I don't recommend these at the same time. If you're new to shooting, don't have a lot of time in, or are just using it as a defensive weapon, I would recommend you just leave the 90-degree safety. It's not really saving you any time or any sort of performance difference. I noticed shooting matches, I flip to safe before I move, so I've noticed it makes it a little easier for me, but that's purely match shooting. It can be beneficial, but you have to train to it, and I would recommend, if you do put one on one rifle, that you go ahead and put them on all your rifles, because under pressure you will fool yourself. If you have a 90 or have a 45, you'll go to flip it to safe or to fire, and say you're used to running a 90, you'll go to flip it to safe, think something's locked up, and it's go to flip it to fire, I'm sorry, think something's locked up and it's not, or the other way around. You know, if you have a 90 and you're going to flip back to safe and you're used to running a 45, you can kind of fiddle and look for it with your thumb a little bit. Either way, personal preference. I like it, I enjoy it, it does what I need it to do well. And this is not the ambidextrous. I don't like ambidextrous. It gets in the way of my trigger finger, in my opinion. but I have fat little sausages, so to each their own. BCM charging handle, again, non-ambidextrous. It is the medium latch. I don't like the large latch, hangs out a little bit too far. Somebody's flying over. Hangs out a little bit too far, even with the medium latch sometimes. Coast Guard, what are you gonna do? Hangs out a little far sometimes. I notice it getting caught if I have a chest rig on. If you know it's there, if you know what it's doing, it's not a big deal. Again, this is the older design. They no longer produce this actual design of it, but I have some of the newer BCM charging handles and I enjoy them. I've always been a big fan of BCM. All their stuff seems to work really well. I have a KMR on my other rifle, KMR rail. You'll notice that this one is key mod, again, because it was put together back when dinosaurs were still roaming the earth. Key mod was still a feasible option at that time. There was still key mod rails, light mounts, that kind of stuff floating around. There's not so much anymore because key mod is not as good as Hemlock. I have key mod on multiple rifles and I will say straight up, key mod is not as good. I have broken a key mod foregrip off of my KMR, putting rotational torque on it, inadvertently broke it off. Trigger is it's a ALG ACT trigger. Geisley is the parent company of ALG. It's a mil-spec style trigger. It's a little bit nicer than a mil-spec trigger. It's by no means a full-blown Geisley trigger. I have a SSA and an SSAE in two different rifles. Those are very nice triggers. This is also a very nice trigger, and unless you are shooting for utmost precision, then you really don't need to upgrade to the SSA or SSAE. But again, I enjoy this trigger. Overall, I enjoy this rifle. It's been very reliable, very dependable. I don't think I've ever had a malfunction off of this rifle, even when the barrel was a PSA and the bolt was a PSA bolt. I don't believe I've ever had any sort of malfunctions, no catastrophic malfunctions. Have had feed issues with certain magazines. Most of those were steel GI style magazines. And there was just various companies that used to still make those, but those magazines were out of spec magazines. It wasn't so much the gun itself. It's not to say this is the best gun in the world or that it is never going to jam or it's infallible in any way. Everything's going to jam at some point. Everything's going to break at some point. It doesn't matter what brand, what grade, Super Duty or PSA. At some point, something on that rifle is going to break, and it's just a matter of how well you take care of it and how well you maintain it. The Springco springs, I feel like, have really helped this rifle. Have a Springco buffer spring, also upgraded Springco springs in the bolt. Is it actually helping? I'd like to think so to justify my purchase, but again, I don't have the exact same rifle without them, and failures on that one and no failures on this one. I'm a sample size 1 of 1, but I've never heard anybody bash a Springco spring for any reason. It's not to say they haven't had a bad batch somewhere along the line, but I've never heard. And then, of course, for extra drip effect, the Magpul T-Mag. I like them. That's just a clear P-Mag, or translucent P-Mag. There's nothing special about it. Finally, we'll get to the sling. Again, you can see it's faded over the years. I've had it for a very long time, 8 or 10 years at this point. And that would be a blue force gear Vickers sling. I like them. I have 4 or 5 of them across different guns. Have them on some shotguns, have them on some rifles. My Benelli hunting shotgun has the padded one on it. I could get by with different slings. I could get by with no sling most of the time shooting competition, but I do enjoy having the sling on it. It makes it nice hunting. You can roll the sling around you. It has the quick adjust. So it adds a layer of retention if you're doing cool guy stuff. Other than that, I think I've covered everything. And I do keep a long Allen key zip tied along the side up here. I don't know if you can see it or not. My lighting is going, but that's for the gas block. And I haven't ever really had to change any gas settings on the fly, but it fits there, it sits there, doesn't come out. I've run 2 matches now and done a bunch of shooting and hunting with it on this rifle. And I say rifle, it is technically an AR pistol. This is a brace, and this is not a vertical foregrip. It's angled. But yeah, I think that's a brief overview. Pretty all-encompassing. Surefire pressure pad. Again, the pressure pad, it's as old as the light. Nearly 10 years old at this point. Everything, for the most part, I think I've covered for y'all. Again, quick and dirty. I'm about to get rained out. This is my first sit down and talk video, so we'll see.